welcome to No Such Thing as a Bad Movie podcast. I'm April Atmansky, and I'm here today with...
Yahoo! Justin the Glue!
Holy shit. Colin Cunningham. What was that all about?
Colin the Outlaw
cowboy.
Cunningham.
Oh, Yahoo!
All right.
Wait, you can't just do the thing I just did.
Oh,
That was Sandler
Colin
vibe.
Werewolf Cunningham.
werewolf cowboy.
So we are continuing the Summer of Sandler, the Summer of Sandman,
Yeah.
and we got a couple more to go because as of right now it's August. So... Well, it was my
It was
pick.
April's turn.
It was my turn, and against my
You
better
did
judgment,
this to us.
I picked the Ridiculous Six. Why did I pick a
Wait.
Western?
I'm going to have an April-like turn on this. I laughed throughout this.
I wanted to laugh a lot at this. Unfortunately, I did
So
not.
you laughed more during Bucky Larson.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Both of us did.
Wow.
More during Grown Ups.
Wow. This is the last on your list at the moment.
Yeah.
No, it could be I just don't like Westerns,
Yeah.
which I don't.
You don't like Westerns? Oh, I love
Come on. We've
Westerns.
talked about this before. I think I made a list of all the Westerns I've actually seen, and
Okay.
it's like 10. So
So when you watch this, it was like, wow.
Are you
everything
like,
was
what's
so
going
original.
on?
No, you were like,
what are these odd animals on screen?
everything
Yeah.
is so original.
yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
get all that. Yeah. So the Ridiculous Six. This is now we're entering the Netflix. The Netflixification.
This was his first one, I believe.
Oh
Yeah.
really? Yeah, I knew this
Yeah.
is after Grown Ups because that came out in like theaters. This was streaming only, right?
Because he had a
Yeah.
deal with Netflix.
What was his how many movies?
Oh,
A lot.
10, I think. Wasn't it
more,
like a
yeah.
10 picture
Because
deal?
he's still going, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Holy
Let
crap.
me see. Netflix deal. The deal has existed for years. It was renewed in January 2020 for 4 more feature films.
Oh my God.
boy.
It was 7 feature films, a stand-up special, and a handful of movies produced by his banner, Happy Madison.
Oh my God.
Has he done that stand-up special yet?
Yep, he did. It's good. It's called 100% Fresh.
Oh.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, Sandler going back to stand-up. Interesting.
And people really liked it, too.
Wow.
Oh, you
Yeah.
should
I've
have
never
watched.
even heard of it.
No, I've heard of that, but I didn't know that's what that was. So the Ridiculous Six.
All right, Ridiculous Six, directed by one of the lesser-known Sandler players, because he also did Around the World in 80 Days, underrated Jackie Chan film, but also Click, The Wedding Singer.
Well, I mean, I love The Wedding Singer.
The
so
Water
that's
Boy.
good.
Yeah, Wedding Singer's great.
Yeah, he's directed a few.
Blended. Here Comes the Boom. Zookeeper.
So a couple of the Kevin Jameses,
Yep.
which we might have to get into next. I don't know. I mean, well, hey, it's not.
No,
it's not my pick.
Summer of Sandman, not Kevin James.
Well, it's that's Happy Madison though. Anyway, I'm just talking about films I would like to watch other than this one.
So you'd like to watch The Zookeeper?
Maybe
And Welcome
I
to
don't
the
know.
Boom.
No, I don't know.
All right, I'm going to get April. At the end of this episode, she'll be like, you know what? Ridiculous Six was one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Yes, convince me. Because again,
Now
like
you're going to be
I mean, first up, 2 hours long. So much to enjoy, right?
God.
this movie
I
felt
feel every minute of it.
it felt endless,
So long.
And I mean, let's just get it out right now. It's way too dark. I could not
Oh,
see
I didn't notice it.
anything. Was it
Well-
our TV?
No.
Yeah.
No,
It's probably still very dark.
Yeah, we fixed that. It's it's HDR if you watch it on Netflix, and it's like their fill light budget must have been 0 because there are no. It's like
There's no fill lights.
every window is like so blindingly light, and then everything inside, like a cabin or anything, is like pitch black. There's like nothing.
I didn't notice that. I feel like that, like Netflix films look like shit.
Are you
Were
watching
you
it
watching
in
on
HDR?
Were you watching on a computer?
No, I wasn't watching it on HDR.
Oh, there
I was
you
watching
go.
it on my computer.
Yeah.
Because
So there you
didn't
go.
I read somewhere that
HDR is bad. I don't like it.
No, it
TV.
depends. It has to be.
Well, yeah,
done
if your
well.
TV is perfectly engineered to be able to play the HDR.
Yeah, like an OLED,
ours
LG
is,
OLED, which is
um,
ours.
And then if you do that, then it looks okay.
No, it looked terrible.
Yeah, it looked terrible. But no, didn't I read somewhere that Netflix or other movies they're grading their films to look better on a computer screen or something?
I wouldn't be surprised.
probably on cell phones.
Oh, oh God.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Anyway, half this movie takes place at night, and I could not see anything.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It was a problem.
It's like even the
That's
outdoors.
wild.
Yeah.
Even the outdoor scenes, like in blinding sunlight, it's like they would always have the sun behind the person.
Wait, do you guys still have the TV that has that green burning on it?
Yes.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with the
That's
brightness.
not the lightness level.
It would be like
Okay.
every movie would be like that, but it's not. So it's like it's just the grade that they did. It's just like the sunlight would be from behind the person, like rimming their head and stuff like that, and there would be no bounce light from the ground, like onto their face. They would just be like this black silhouette, pretty much.
I didn't think that like Sandler could be more like unengaged as he was in Grown Ups.
Oh,
but
man.
he is.
Is Sandler
he's like sleeping.
CGI'd into this?
Yeah.
He looks like so sleepy.
And like he's the only like really likable character in the movie because everyone else is like
the donkey?
disgusting.
Thank you
yeah,
very
you're
much.
right. The burro is adorable.
Yeah, I can't believe I liked like Rob Schneider in this movie.
Yeah, Rob Schneider playing
oh.
a lesser offensive character than he normally
a lesser
does.
offensive
It's still
character?
it's still offensive,
Yeah.
but it wasn't as embarrassing as some of the other performances. I mean,
Yeah.
Terry Crews is okay. Yeah.
He's fine. It's one of these movies where it's, some amazing actor pops up and you're like, oh no.
They're in and this is Cameo the movie.
Like Harvey Keitel.
Oh man, I love it. There was one
no.
cameo that I'm like, who is that? And I looked it up online and laughed and laughed and laughed.
I
Oh,
bet I
yeah.
know what it is.
Yeah, you know what it is.
I know what it is.
But yeah, this movie is endless and it's a really meandering plot. And remember how last week how I was saying like, do every like silly comedy movie have to have like the serious like emotional moment in it?
Yeah.
Surely a movie like Ridiculous Six couldn't have that. It does. There's a tragic backstory right at the beginning, and then at the end it's like fucking serious as shit.
it's
and I'm
so
like,
weird.
I thought this was a comedy.
This whole movie is so serious.
It's barely a comedy.
It's like barely any. It's so bizarre. It's like the main plot line.
What are
is
you
just,
talking about? It's barely a comedy when like a burrow is shitting in a man's face.
Like
it
it's
only,
so
it only
powerful.
happens
just
twice.
like twice or something, and like I did laugh at those
It
moments.
only happens twice. You need to do it at least 5 times
Yeah,
to really
but,
land
like,
this joke.
The rest of the movie has to have jokes too, though.
Yeah, there's like almost no attempt at jokes like through most of the movie.
And then
There isn't.
when
I would agree with
when
you
there
there.
are jokes, they're very, very
is it
poorly
Taylor
executed.
Lautner that's trying to doing a lot of the heavy lifting?
oh,
Taylor Lautner.
he's doing a Simple Jack.
He's doing Simple Jack or
Yeah.
Lawnmower Man, really.
Yeah,
Lawnmower Man.
he's got like the
He's the
same,
same
outfit.
outfit.
He's got the same like way of speaking. He's all,
Wow, Taylor Lautner has not been doing. He's
No.
in a Kevin James film, Home Team from 2022.
Oh.
And then his next film is Run the Tide from 2016, and then Ridiculous Six 2015, and that's it.
Oh.
Yeah, his career really just took a nosedive. I can only assume because I guess he just wasn't that talented. And I'm not trying to make fun of the guy here. I thought he was fine in those Twilight movies, but there's a reason Robert Pattinson is in Cosmopolis or whatever. Or sorry, not Wait, he was in Cosmopolis. wasn't
He got his own movie after the Twilight movie.
Yeah, wasn't it like a
It was like a spy thriller. or
yeah,
something?
and I also heard that was
Yeah,
bad.
it was the last John Singleton film, Tracers.
Tracers.
Oh, I think.
Tracker.
No,
it's
wait.
called
Tracers. No, what am I thinking of? Abduction.
Abduction.
Yeah,
Yeah,
2011.
yeah,
Yes.
that's it. Yeah.
And that was like apparently so bad that they probably like, let's never make him a leading man in anything.
Yeah, which is sad, but hey, he got his chance, and now he's in Ridiculous
Hey,
Six.
I did
so-
think he was funny in Grown Ups too. I will give him that.
He was funny in Grown Ups too.
Yeah.
But this performance is so embarrassing. This and poor Jorge Garcia, I am just like, I feel terrible.
I
for
mean,
them.
first, he's on the cover of the Hurley album that Weezer put out.
Oh,
Really?
yeah.
Yeah, you didn't.
No, I
yeah,
didn't know
Weezer-
that.
Yeah, it's called Hurley, and he's on the cover of it. It's just his face.
Again, speaking of people who were in one thing and they just couldn't really make a career after that. They tried.
It's like a lot of people from Lost were kind of like that. Like Sawyer, like I played Sawyer.
Yeah, he was in a couple TV shows that failed.
He was in like a Mission Impossible, and then
He
died
was?
Oh well, yeah, for a minute,
Yeah.
he gets killed at the beginning of Ghost Protocol.
Yeah,
Well, I don't even remember that.
exactly.
And I also can't remember that actor's name. The guy who played Sawyer.
Yeah, and then Jack, like say it's
Well,
just like
Jack he was already a TV star. He was in
Matthew
Party of
Fox,
Five.
thank you very much.
Matthew
Sorry.
Fox, and he was
He was
in
the villain
Alex
in,
Cross.
Alex Cross.
Also, like Kate, she was in the Hobbit second movie, and that's
Oh
kind of
yeah,
it.
she has a lot of opinions about vaccines as well.
Yeah. I mean, Terry O'Quinn, again, already a huge actor.
Yeah.
And nothing stopping him. Although, what's he been in lately?
I think
I'm
Jin
sure
has been in stuff. He was in
He,
Hawaii
oh,
Five-0.
he's huge. Yeah, you're right. Daniel Day Kim is in a ton of stuff.
Yeah, he's in Avatar.
Exactly. He was also in. He did a voice actually in the cartoon version, but he's in like everything.
I think he was in that Hawaii Five-0 show for like 20 years.
Yeah.
Even though
post loss
with Scott
Even-
Conn.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm looking here. Even Terry O'Quinn showed up in Hawaii Five-0 for 16 episodes.
Hey, there you
16
go.
episodes. Yeah. He's done a ton of TV. But anyway, so yeah. A lot of people from it's just a huge cast, right? But
Yeah.
a lot of them were either already famous, but then other than those, that everybody else is not. They're really not in anything, you know.
What are we talking about? Lost or Ridiculous?
I'm talking about Lost.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, Ridiculous
Welcome
6.
to the Lost Cast.
Yeah, Ridiculous 6. So it's a very, very large cast.
Yeah. Steve
So,
Zahn.
wait, I want to start about the beginning of the movie because like the titles came on and I was like, did they do these at the last minute? They are so cheap.
Oh, like the title card that came up?
Yeah, the title cards, yeah.
Presented
Where
in
it's like
4K.
Glorious 6 and Glorious 6K, 4K or whatever.
That's a joke, I guess. Okay.
Yeah, about the Hateful Eight.
Oh,
Remember?
It
It
like
was in glorious 70 millimeter.
Still haven't
Yeah.
seen that.
Right.
And
Well,
I've
you
seen
don't
this,
have to now.
So, yeah, damn it.
Well, but
You're going to be comparing every Western you see from now on
To the Ridiculous Six.
Ridiculous Six.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
I got to get my...
So wait, what are the 10
West-
westerns that you've
I'm,
seen,
I'm
April?
going to pull it up right now because I got to add this to the list. Because I may...
Wait, you have a list of westerns that you've seen?
Yeah, because I think we talked about this when we did maybe Judge Roy Bean. Okay, let me just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this is going to be number 12.
Wait, do you have the movies you've watched separated by genre?
I just made a note on my Apple phone.
Oh,
Just
a
for
Western
Westerns.
list. So what do you have? Judge Roy Bean,
Okay.
Ridiculous 6.
Okay, Judge Roy Bean, Ridiculous 6, Bone Tomahawk, True Grit, the new one,
Yeah.
Ballad of Buster Scruggs, Django Unchained, Duel in the Sun, Bad Day at Black Rock. These are all things.
What?
These
You
are
watched
things
Duel in the Sun?
watched in film school.
Bad Day at Black
Bad Day at
Rock.
Black Rock.
That's kind of a
McCabe
western.
and
That's
Mrs. Miller,
Yeah.
Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid, Wild Wild West, and Cannibal the Musical, which
All
I
right,
put on
there's
the
some
other
that are
night.
real stretch in the definition of western. In
And
there.
that's it.
What about like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly?
I haven't seen any of the quote unquote good ones.
Well, if you've seen a John Carpenter movie, then
So,
technically
so
you've seen like
April's like, I don't like westerns, and I have not seen any of the good ones.
Actually, no, I don't. But I did like some of those movies on that list. I love Django, and I liked
Wild Wild West.
Bone Tomahawk was pretty good.
Yeah.
What about like The Wild Bunch is another one that you could watch.
Oh, yeah.
Even
that
something a little bit
Peckinpah?
more.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit more modern. Kevin Costner in Silverado, the Lawrence Kasdan movie.
That's a great. That's a really fun.
That
movie.
is super fun. I really
Yeah,
like
I
Silverado.
love that movie.
Is that's not the brand new one?
No,
right?
no, that's Horizon.
No, that's from the 80s.
Horizon. Oh, 80s.
Yeah, that was like probably like 87,
85.
85.
Yeah.
Well,
Kevin Kline, Danny Glover, Kevin Costner,
Scott Glenn.
Scott Glenn.
Roseanne Arquette, John Cleese, Brian Dennehy.
Oh, you know what I
John
forgot to
Cleese.
put on there? That Sam Raimi movie.
Oh, The Quick and the
Dead?
Quick and the Dead.
Oh, that movie rules.
That's good.
Yeah.
And I also have another list of classic movies that I have not seen, and Tombstone is on there.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I
that's
have
a
to
good one.
watch that.
Tombstone.
But
Oh, Tombstone's great.
Yeah.
So maybe,
yeah.
all right, after the summer of Sandman, next year should be the summer of westerns.
But then we would have to watch
But then
bad
we would
ones.
watch bad ones.
Oh, Wild Wild West. I mean, we're due for that one on this
are
podcast
we?
because my
Wild
man
Wild
Kenneth
West.
Branagh is in it. Okay, so let's just set up this plot
The
because
fall
there's
of
a
Branagh.
tragic backstory at the beginning of this. That we're supposed to feel really,
Which
really
is-
bad for White Knife here.
But you haven't seen like Once Upon a Time in the West. It's like any of those movies, and a flashback similar in Quick and the Dead when they flash back to
Oh,
when
yeah.
their like parents or mother or father were murdered.
Right, so I probably just didn't get these references.
They're all kind of like just tropes. That,
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, it's very. It's a weird opening. It's like Steve Zahn in a trading post. Steve Zahn's actually pretty funny in this movie.
It's okay.
It's okay. Sandler, so serious, comes in like.
Dressed in indigenous garb.
Yeah,
oh boy.
including a long
There's
way.
a lot of slurs in this movie. At the time there was, sure. I mean, back in the
For Native Americans.
2000s.
Back in the day, not just 2000. Let me look here. 2015.
Oh God.
Yeah, so he gets.
We need to be clear though that these movies were a massive hit for Netflix.
Yeah.
Like they were the most successful films they had on their service.
Did people like this movie?
Apparently, I guess.
I don't think so.
I mean, critics didn't, but people watched it.
Yeah, obviously it got clicks.
It was like,
God, sorry, I'm just looking at Steve Zahn's like eye. It's so badly done in the movie.
it's a bad CG.
Yeah.
But like it seemingly there is purposely bad CG, like this scene where Sandler like fast runs on his hands.
It looks so bad.
But it's just weird.
It's supposed to look silly, so
And it also sets up a much sillier film that this is not.
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah,
there's some slapstick in this, but there's not enough for it to be funny.
So Sandler is in this outpost with Steve Zahn, and then some ruffians come. Were you happy when you saw your favorite Sandler player, Nick Swartzen?
I was more happy to see Will Forte.
Yeah, Will
because
Forte is pretty funny.
even if he is in the worst piece of crap like this movie, he's never not funny.
Yeah.
But they don't really give him super funny lines, but he
don't.
makes it work.
Yeah,
They
but
never even let him go wild, like that
No.
classic Will Forte way.
yeah, it's weird. He was very kind of subdued. But like, I don't know, they confront Sandler. They're just like harassing him and his wife, and then like Sandler, I don't know,
Throws a bunch of
is
flour
really
in there.
fast, I guess. Runs up to them, slaps a bunch of them in like high speed motion.
It's like every new scene, they come up with a new skill for him that he can do. Like he does
Yeah,
parkour.
but he does it
like
stone faced.
Yeah.
Was he trying to do like a Charles Bronson, like Clint Eastwood thing here? Probably. That's like his
Yeah.
idea.
well, his accent changes throughout the movie.
Yeah, he's just so like, you just can't imagine him as like this sort of stoic tough guy, like action star, that it just comes off as weird.
And yet he is, and yeah, he's the only character
what are you
that
talking
doesn't
about?
look
I've
foolish.
seen Bulletproof, where Adam Sandler plays a stoic tough guy.
He's doing like parkour and stuff, like with his knives,
I like that.
which is
That's
actually
funny.
it's actually kind of cool. Like, but they're trying to make him like a cool action
So
star.
what?
Which is really
What
weird.
would be like the funny Sandler? Like, what voice would he do in this?
Like, listen, guys, I don't want any trouble.
Yeah, honestly, if he did that the whole movie, I'd probably be laughing.
Well, I have a little movie for you called Little Nicky.
yeah.
That's actually a different voice he's doing in Little Nicky.
Yeah, he should have like.
It sounds more like this.
Yeah, he should be.
That sounds like you're Jack Nicholson. Hey, it's me, Adam Sandler.
He should just be like goofy Adam Sandler. Like, I don't know why he's trying to be cool.
Because this
Action
is
guy.
his chance to be in a Western, I guess.
This is a period of very sad, not trying Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Like, think of Pixels Adam Sandler.
Yeah, where he's
like,
apparently
barely
just looks
there.
like depressed.
Yeah, it almost looks like they just like green screened his head onto somebody else's body, and he just looks like
Yeah.
he's just sitting in a chair at home, like playing video games or something, and like, I'm talking like this.
Okay, well, speaking of people who talk like that, Nick Nolte,
I mean, I love Nick
I
Nolte.
could not understand a word he was saying. I needed subtitles.
Yeah,
What up, buddy?
Yeah.
Bananas.
You're gonna hurt your
Yeah,
throat.
I'm like,
don't do
It's
it.
from the back. I can't do it.
yeah, I'm already like hurting the back of my throat doing it.
So yeah, I was just like
He speaks like this through like
the whole
through
movie.
life.
But no, yes, that's
It's
what he
not
thought.
through the whole movie. April. Through
through his real life.
his
Yeah.
real life. What if you saw Nick Nolte? He's like, it's and cut. All right, I'm done. He's kind of like a Bobcat Goldthwait.
Well,
where
Oh
it's
yeah, you
like,
can turn it on and off.
oh yeah, I do a voice.
Thank you,
and,
Adam. Thank you very much.
He
for the
was on
opportunity.
some newer show where he played like a Trump-like political guy. I haven't seen,
Nick
but
Nolte?
my dad told me about it, and he said it was really funny. Now, does he talk like that in it? Because how?
Yes,
He
that's
has
his
to.
voice.
That's his voice.
Okay, but how could you make political speeches if if you sound like
Have you
that?
seen those political speeches?
I don't know. But anyway, I don't even remember what this TV show was called. But apparently,
it was
really
called
funny.
Graves.
Graves.
There was 20 episodes. Nick Nolte starred in it
Yeah. Oh
my
as
God.
Richard Graves.
Yeah.
That's insane.
but-
You literally cannot understand what he's saying.
But-
It's like a Donald Duck problem where when they did the new DuckTales, they're like, Donald Duck can't be in every episode because that voice cannot sustain a
Yeah.
character for that long.
But yeah, he's only in the beginning and the end of this. Donald Duck, he's in this movie.
Oh man, I
That'd be
wish.
great.
Played by Nick Nolte.
Okay, we have to get on the road.
Quack, quack.
Because
Yeah, Nick Nolte shows up to Adam Sandler. So it turns out Adam Sandler, if you can't tell, he's like a white guy, some baby that
White knife.
What
Yes.
his name is White Knife. His wife's name is what? Smoking Fox.
Smoking Fox.
Smoking Fox. And then so he was some white kid that the natives found and like raised as their own. Nick Nolte shows up to their village one day and he's like, I was your dad.
And I'm dying, and I something about money under a windmill.
Yeah, Danny Trejo and his gang show up. They kidnap what's his nuts? Nick Nolte. And he's like, just leave my kids alone. I'll show you where I buried my money from way back when they used to run together in the same gang or something. So they kidnap Nick Nolte, and this is the whole like impetus for the story.
He wants to help out his father, whom he just met,
Yeah.
by the way. I like the guy who played the chief. He had a couple. He actually did have a couple funny one-liners.
He did, actually.
So good for him. And like, they did hire some Native American actors. Although there's also a lot of white people in the scene too.
Yeah, like Adam Sandler and his wife.
Yeah,
Yes, that's right. He's playing an indigenous person in this movie.
Yeah.
Who it's pretty funny. So he's like, I'm going to go on the road. I have to find $50,000 so I can pay Danny Trejo's gang off and then get my dad back. So I'm going to rob from like bad people. I have to like, I don't know, whatever. But then and then the chief is like, why don't you take so-and-so along? He does a great impersonation of a white guy. And what is he like? I'm just going to sit down and eat my crackers. And he's like, oh, where does he come up with that stuff?
And there should have been more jokes like that in the movie.
Yeah, and then so he cuts his hair and then he's like goes to town.
And now he has a different accent. So I think he was putting on like an American accent as opposed to an indigenous
Maybe.
accent.
You're giving him too much credit, I think.
So anyway, he goes around and everywhere apparently is related to Nick Nolte. So he has a new brother like every town he goes to. The funny thing about, not funny, but the stupid thing about this movie is that they go to all these different towns that is just the same set redressed and they all look the same.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't think the $250 million they spent on this movie went to the sets?
Well, at least there are sets.
What do you think the budget of this movie was?
If it was a normal movie, it would probably be like 35, 40. If it's a Sandler movie,
100 million.
It's probably going to be like 120 million.
Justin, are you looking it up?
I'm looking it up right now. Ridiculous 6 budget.
I mean, there's so many cameos. Did they all do them for free?
$60 million.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
so less money, yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, they obviously didn't spend it on VFX.
He's so frugal.
There's lots of costumes.
Or jokes.
There are like a lot of like action set pieces. You
Yeah.
know, you got to spend money on fight choreographers and stunt doubles.
And I will say,
There's not that many action
No,
set pieces
there's
in this
not.
movie.
there's
but
action scenes though.
when there are, I want to say they're actually pretty good. They're pretty
They're
decent.
too good for this movie.
Yeah, it's
like it
weird.
doesn't belong in this comedy movie.
Creates a very weird vibe where it's
Yeah,
like this
I told
goofy
you that
thing.
one scene. It was shot like Upgrade. Like, what am I watching?
A lot of stuff is weird is that like there's a start of a joke and then no other jokes.
No
like
punchline.
Yeah.
when he like gets picked up off the road, they're like, "Oh, where's your horse?" And he goes, "Oh, my horse was drinking water," and then he committed suicide by keeping his head down there too long. And then the people go, "Oh yeah, that happens." And then we go to the next scene.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's like,
okay,
okay, was that a
there's
joke?
a setup there.
It's barely a joke.
Yeah, that's the rest of the movie.
This whole
It's
movie
it's
is
2
like
hours
that.
of that.
And a lot of it is just like Taylor Lautner or whoever just like
Oh,
saying
yeah?
something in a funny voice, and that's not a joke.
yeah.
Like he's no Adam Sandler.
Wait, saying something in a funny joke is not
in a funny voice.
Voice is not a joke. Oh, Adam Sandler's career is gonna have to.
I'm just saying, Sandler can do it sometimes.
Yeah. We needed some of that from Sandler in this. He's too
Well, we get a little bit of Sandler later on. when he's hunting down Harvey Keitel.
Oh God.
Oh boy.
But you hear him do his voice. I can't do the Adam Sandler voice. Yeah, he does it.
He does do it briefly.
Okay, so
But we meet Rob Schneider here.
well, we meet Chris Parnell first of all in the town.
Oh, love Chris Parnell.
Yeah, I know.
The man who never says no.
Yes.
Yeah, and again, very funny actor.
Yeah,
and he
he's-
has a couple funny lines. in
Sandler's
this,
like
I
drinking
guess.
out of a water trough, like a horse trough, and he's like, "You can't do that in this town." He's like the rich banker guy or
Yeah, he's a
something.
banker.
We meet.
Man, Chris Parnell's filmography is so wild because it's like anytime he gets a call, he's like, "Oh, you want me to star in like a DTV dog film?"
Sure.
Yeah, sure, I'm
oh,
here.
No, really?
No problem. Yeah.
I mean, I mostly know him lately from like not that like Rick and Morty. I stopped watching that several seasons ago, but like he.
Or it's like, you want me to be in the Chevy Chase, Richard Dreyfuss film, The Last Laugh? Yeah, why not? I'll do that.
Oh boy. Hey, he's getting a
Hey,
paycheck.
Jeff Dunham's Unhinged in Hollywood.
Jeff Dunham.
Oh, he's too good for that.
Remember when he was in Jingle All the Way?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
He's great.
yeah, he's one of the guys
Yeah,
in the store.
yeah.
Very
he was
funny.
he was great in 30 Rock. And
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
he's
He
great
was
in-
great
As the
on
Doctor,
he was
right?
great on
yeah,
SNL.
Dr. Spaceman
I watched SNL back when he was on it.
and Archer.
He was,
Yeah,
he
he's
was
very
on
funny in
Archer.
Archer.
Yeah.
Oh, I never watched that.
Was he Cyril?
Oh, he's very funny in his one scene in Hot Rod where he's like the organizer of the stunt.
You know, I still need to watch that movie.
That movie's very funny.
So we get
Okay, Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider turns out playing a Mexican guy named El Nino.
Is that his name?
I think so.
Very,
God.
He
very.
has a real name, but then he calls himself El Nino.
Oh, boy.
He's a little Mexican guy. He seems to go in and out of like a Mexican and like Italian accent.
His accent's a little all over the
He
place.
talks to his burro. He's got his little donkey guy.
It's a real donkey. I just hope that donkey was treated well on set. That's all I don't want.
Oh, it was a Milo and Otis situation. They were
Yeah,
killing donkeys.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they, Sandler demanded that the shit that the donkey does would be real.
Yeah.
So they'd be like giving it laxatives.
What's the deal with donkeys? Like, it's like God just like.
What's the deal with
It's
donkeys?
like God just created a smaller, cuter horse,
Yeah.
like with
Yes,
like a
but
sweeter like eyes. And I think
if
horses
you
are
ha-
cute too. But
If you have a donkey and a horse have sex, you get a mule, and God does not want that because they're always going to be sterile.
it's true. But mules also very very cute. But again,
Yeah.
like. It's,
Well, they're like sturdy pack
they
animals.
they look they kind of look like zebras too. I don't know.
So what April says is like, donkeys good, horses eat shit. Why do we have horses if we have donkeys?
Well,
just
I
like,
guess
you
we
know.
need. I mean, I don't know how
Have
I
you seen
feel.
those like miniature horses?
Yes,
They're so cute.
the little tiny like are they called like Shetland ponies? And then we
That
have
they're like,
ponies.
please
too.
kill
Yeah.
me. Why do I
The
exist?
little tiny
you bred me
ones.
to be this way.
Yeah.
The tiny
I'm a
horses.
monster.
Yeah.
But yeah, his little burro has like explosive diarrhea from time to time.
That they can do on cue.
Okay, now I was completely wrong. I misremembered this, Justin. We had talked about this many times.
Yes, you thought Rob Schneider got hit by shit.
I thought
right?
he was blasted backwards.
Turns out
It's
it
Chris
was
Parnell.
Chris
Parnell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And obviously,
I mean, that's
it's
comedy.
not really him. It's a stunt double.
I'm sure.
What? He doesn't do all his own
We're
stuff.
gonna have to go frame by frame to figure
Next,
this out.
you're going to tell me that wasn't real diarrhea.
Yeah.
No, Adam Sandler demands it.
Yeah, so it's like they rob like Chris Parnell's bank or something like that, and then what Rob Schneider's like
donkey
talking
shits.
to the donkey like, "Hold it, not yet, hold it," and then they
And he
try
gets
to
blasted.
Yeah, but don't they also meet like they meet Taylor Lautner as well in this town?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, we have the." So I don't think we said that Rob Schneider, Taylor Lautner, they all have Nick Nolte as all their father.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He was like,
World's sexiest man, Nick Nolte.
Yeah.
Right? He must have won at some point.
yeah, he traveled. Oh, I'm sure. They're like people's like sexiest man alive.
He
or
probably
whatever.
did.
I'm sure he did.
He was in 1992.
Yeah,
God, 92.
he was a hunk back
like
then,
Cape
man.
Fear times, you know.
Well, probably like the Prince of Tides or something. Or
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Yeah, is there a cover with him on the?
I'm sure.
He looks very much like Gary Busey. He's got real.
That's what I
Busey
got him
vibes.
confused with Gary Busey earlier today.
Oh no! I mean,
I don't know what
Nick
movie I'm
Nolte
talking
back in the
about.
day was like this blonde, like hunky dude. Gary Busey was never a blonde
All right,
hunky dude.
I am looking at Nick Nolte, sexiest
Well,
man alive.
I just sent you a
cover.
photo on Messenger.
Wow. It's funny how beauty standards change. No, I'm just joking. He's got a rugged handsomeness to him. Are you looking at it, Colin?
I am,
But the world's sexiest, though.
I know.
they would always do that on people.
I'm pretty sure Mel Gibson won that like 5 times or something.
Probably, yeah.
Last year, it's really weird. He won again.
Yeah.
Mel Gibson, though, like he's bringing the beard back.
Oh God, the Saddam Hussein beard.
Mel Gibson, like he cannot appear in front of a camera and not look absolutely bananas.
Like deranged.
now.
It looks like they dug
He's
him
got the
up.
crazy eyes.
Yeah, it's like
Have you guys seen the trailer for his new movie starring Mark Wahlberg?
Yes.
No?
Oh yes, you have.
Oh, yeah!
The one on the plane.
And the big reveal is that Mark Wahlberg is bald. in the
What's it
movie.
called? Like Flight or something? Or no?
It's not Flight.
It's like plane.
It's all on a plane.
I
yeah.
forget what it's called, but it looks amazing.
Oh, God, it
I
was
can
so
find.
funny.
I can find out.
It's a Mel Gibson directed film, which is wild.
Which is insane.
The story he's always wanted to tell.
Oh, I hope it just stays on the plane like the entire time.
Oh, it does. That's what it looks like.
Oh, amazing.
It's called Flight Risk.
Flight risk. Hey, bro. I'm
That
bald.
movie looks hilarious.
I'm bald, bro.
Hilariously bad.
It said coming to a theater near you, and I don't believe that. There's no way.
It looks
right?
very, very DTV.
It won't be to a
And
theater.
I'm very excited for The Passion of Christ Resurrection Chapter 1 and Passion of Christ Resurrection Chapter
That's been
2.
planned for a
No.
very, very long time.
Well,
And also Lethal Weapon 5. I don't think that's happening. Currently on IMDb, it says directed by Mel Gibson.
Probably not, guys.
I remember he was going to do a remake of The Wild Bunch way back. It was after Hacksaw.
Oh, that was a long
Yeah,
time
it
ago.
was
That was pre
Hacksaw Ridge or something like that.
Wait, is this actually happening?
What?
It says HBO Max is
Oh,
supposed to be doing Lethal Weapon 5.
Nah.
No.
No.
Is it going to be like a Beverly Hills Cop situation?
It was announced. It was announced in July. No.
What,
that
if
can't
this
be true.
year?
No, 2021.
Oh.
That ain't
No,
happening.
no.
It's too late. Yeah.
They can
You think
announce
Danny
stuff
Glover's
all they
going to come
want.
back?
Yeah, Danny Glover's going to come back.
Oh, wait. Now he's really too old.
Isn't he
He's a
like
little
28
too
or something in that? Where he's like, I'm too old.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, but
crazy. He was like
he
38
seemed
or
older.
something.
He was playing older.
Yeah, he was like retired. And then you see him in,
Oh,
like,
that's right.
yeah, and then you see him in Predator 2 and he's like all ripped and stuff. You're like, wait a minute. What's
Well,
happening?
I don't know if I'd call him ripped in Predator 2.
he was
but-
He's
pretty
in
good
shape.
You see the size
But
of
he's
those
he's
pants?
in shape in Lethal Weapon as well. Like he's just supposed to be like less, I guess, in shape than Mel Gibson.
Yeah, they'd always like make fun of he's wearing a girdle and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's
Can
like-
you imagine, retiring at the age of 50? Like, that's who he's supposed to be playing in the movie.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, if you're a cop, I guess you
and then
can.
he's got a gigantic. Yeah, he's like, oh, I've been on the take for like 40 years.
All right, so getting back, we have to introduce the rest
All
of the
right,
thing.
so who's next? Jorge Garcia?
Yeah.
Okay.
Explosive diarrhea. So yeah, Chris Parnell gets blasted by explosive diarrhea. Does it ever come up again? Do we ever see?
Just
No.
at the very end where someone makes a donkey toy and it
Yeah.
sprays water out its butt.
But you never see, like, the donkey shit.
Yeah,
No.
it had to. Like I was.
Much to my
I
disappointment.
was waiting for it to happen to Nolte
The,
at
the
the
donkey
end.
does kick someone in the face.
I'm surprised, like, the donkey never, like, sets off, like, a rocket at one point to get to, like, a high place using its shit.
But like Thunderpants?
But like,
Yeah.
like blasts.
I've never seen
like
Thunderpants,
blasts
but
itself.
Yeah.
The kid from Thunderpants goes to space and fuels a
farting?
rocket. No, he's
Yeah.
in like a rocket or something like that.
Yeah.
fueled by his farts?
Yes.
Is that what? Where do the pants come into?
I don't know.
So can you imagine that
I think
you're...
they like blow up and inflate, don't they? The pants,
I
we're going to talk about
thunder pants.
Thunderpants.
a movie
and
we
what
haven't
that-
even
Oh
seen.
man.
So, wait. I have more questions. Can you imagine being Rupert Grint and you're like, I just did Harry Potter, I assume?
Yeah, I think Thunderpants was after the first Harry Potter, or maybe it was before.
No, it was after 2002, I see.
Oh,
Okay,
boy. Well, his
yeah.
parents were like hedging their bets.
They're like putting you in the fart
if this,
movie.
if this
Yeah.
Harry Potter thing doesn't pan out.
I mean, he's not the farting kid.
no.
Oh, he's not?
No, he's like the kid's friend.
But
Who's the farting kid?
I think it's one of the kids from Harry Potter, isn't it?
no,
Like not the
it's-
fat kid.
No, it's
No, it
not.
looks like
It's
a-
not Neville Longbottom. If
Oh,
that's
okay.
what you're
It's a
saying.
kid called Bruce Cook who's only in 2 other things.
Were they Thunderpants movies?
Ooh,
No, I wish.
Thunderpants too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Paul Giamatti was in Thunderpants, I believe.
Was he?
Yeah,
Oh
because
my
I remember him
God.
talking about it on like Conan or something. But he's also an actor that doesn't really say no to a lot.
But he loves it.
Exactly.
He
Like
loves
he
all
loves
those,
being in things.
I'm surprised Paul Giamatti's not part of the Sandler gang.
Yeah.
He's never been in one? That can't be right.
It seems like easy money.
Yeah.
He's like, I get to go on a vacation with
Meanwhile,
Sandler.
you have Steve Buscemi, who is obviously a close friend of Sandler's, who is in all of them.
Yeah.
Well, I think they became friends because they made Airheads together.
Oh, really? They weren't
Oh,
friends
right.
beforehand. Okay. Yeah, I guess you're right, because he wasn't like an SNL person.
That's right.
No, yeah, and Steve Buscemi like co-stars in that movie.
Yeah,
with Sandler,
that's so.
so.
It's
No.
like it's funny. He's in a band with like Brendan Fraser and Adam
Steve
Sandler
Buscemi.
and Steve Buscemi.
You watched that recently, did you not, Justin?
Yeah, it was
Does it
okay.
hold up? Because I remember loving it,
it
as
was
a
alright.
kid.
Yeah, because Emily had said she had seen it like hundreds of times back in the day. I'm sure she maybe watched it with you once at some
Probably
point.
she.
so.
Well, did she? Is it because she loved Brendan Fraser? I mean, as we
yeah,
all did at the
absolutely. Yeah.
time.
But you know what? You look at this poster, and Steve Buscemi doesn't look completely out of place. Like when you see like their three heads
Well,
together.
also bands. Like, come on, you don't have to be super
okay.
attractive to be in a band. It's all about the music, right?
Yeah.
And Steve Buscemi's coming off
Yeah,
of
totally.
Reservoir Dogs at this point.
Right.
So
well, he'd probably be the drummer, I guess, right?
I would imagine so. Yes, but yeah, he does look like he would be in a band.
Yeah, he actually does look like a drummer of like a metal
Also,
band
I
or
mean,
something.
he used to be a lot cuter because he was younger, right? So as you get
Yeah.
older, you know, obviously you look like you do in this movie, which is fine.
fine.
Just fine. Okay, so moving on.
Steve Zahn joins the Will Forte's
The
one-eyed gang or the left-eyed gang.
Left-eyed gang. So they all have eye patches for a joke that is not paid off until the end of the movie, and I saw that
you
coming
know
a
it's
mile
coming.
away. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So they make him scoop out his eye, and they're all like, "Ugh," and I'm like,
it's actually kind of gross.
well, that doesn't make sense because if they all did this, then why are they freaking out? And then, of course, later
Yeah, you
find
see
out
it in
they don't. It
silhouette,
didn't
but his
really.
eye is like dangling from his head. It's kind of
It's a
actually,
gross out
it
gag,
made me
yeah.
squeamish. Yeah.
Why did they make him do it?
Just for fun. But then they seem disgusted that he did it, so I don't
Yeah.
know.
It's very weird.
It's supposed to be a comedy scene because
They didn't think of the consequences of their actions.
no, because they're the dumb gang, even
Yeah.
dumber than the Ridiculous Six.
so we get another guy, another brother. So they go up to some cabin somewhere, and we're introduced to this fur trapper played by Hurley from Lost,
who
Jorge
is
Garcia.
feral. He cannot speak English. He just goes rah rah rah. And that's
speaks like-
supposed
yeah.
to be funny, which it's not.
And again, I felt so embarrassed for him. Like,
Yeah.
I just was
Like
so
we're gonna get
embarrassed.
you, we're gonna have you be in this movie and just be a clown and make noises for our amusement. But like it's not funny.
It's not.
But how about you laughing when Taylor Lautner was getting a blowjob from the horse?
No, I was not.
That was kinda
Oh, hey,
gross.
here's an idea. How about you hire comedians to be in your comedy movie? You know, because neither of these guys.
I
are
mean, Adam
comic
Sandler's a
actors.
comedian.
No, I meant more just these two guys.
You wouldn't know it from this movie.
But like Luke Wilson, hey, I love Luke Wilson, and he's done comedies, but he's more of a straight man, you
Yeah.
know?
Do you think that he had stories to tell on the set of Horizon and American West Part 1 about Ridiculous Six?
What, he's in that?
Oh, yeah, he is.
Oh, isn't
my
Luke
God.
Wilson like the second lead?
Actually,
I think he's the second lead. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
well, Luke Wilson in this movie, I think, leads to two of my favorite jokes. The
Uh,
ones that
well, we haven't gotten to
well,
it.
I know,
he,
I know,
he-
I know,
he
I
doesn't
know.
come in until way later.
yeah.
So yeah, so now Hurley, who they call Hurl or something, which is
Herm.
like Herm, which is like, come on,
Because he
it's
can't write his
ju-
name. He's like scribbling
just
out.
his lost character's
Sure.
name, basically.
So they go to another town. So they got Hurley, who's another one of their brothers. They're all at like Steve Buscemi's place. He's like a barber, dentist, doctor.
This is a scene that is
it has one of Justin's favorite things.
okay. All I'm saying is this is a comedic scene that is executed so poorly because the timing and the it's so like quiet. Like it's supposed to be funny, but the execution was incredibly poor.
Wait, but the donkey gets something stuck up its butt and its
Oh,
eyes go CGI. Oh!
They did the furry vengeance eyes.
They did the story vengeance
Yeah.
eyes.
They're like Google it, and he does it twice in a row. It's like, "Broop, broop."
So that was your favorite thing, Justin?
No. My favorite thing was John Turturro playing baseball.
Oh yeah.
All right, well, we'll
So
get to that.
Yeah, he's putting. It's just a gross out scene. He's like putting like ointment on Hurley's I don't know, STD dick.
You don't see it, yeah.
No.
Thank God.
Yeah.
He's
And then
put-
he uses the same ointment on everyone else.
Yeah,
and
he's
that's-
putting it like on his own lips as like balm or something like that.
It just
It's
wasn't funny.
It's gross.
And it was gross. Yeah.
So what do we get? He goes to
We go to Harvey Keitel.
he goes to the saloon. We meet Harvey Keitel and Terry Crews. Terry Crews is like playing the piano.
Harvey Keitel's like this big bad boss.
And
Mr.
Luke Wilson
Smiley.
is there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did like this fight scene where Luke Wilson is not spilling his drink as he gets beat up. It was actually very well done.
But again, it doesn't fit
But
in
it's
this
not.
movie.
It's not a joke.
It's so
but
weird.
It's interesting. Well,
He's just annoying Harvey Keitel, and then Harvey Keitel just like beats him up for 5
Like, it
minutes.
doesn't pay off later where it's like, oh, he can hold his balance.
also, they
and,
didn't establish that he was an alcoholic before this. This is like how you find that out, I guess, because that's kind of his thing. Is he's a booze hound?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
didn't
With a
even-
tragic backstory.
I didn't even like.
You didn't even
put those-
notice
no, I
that,
didn't
did you?
put
Yeah.
those
Because
two
at the
together.
end, he decides to quit drinking.
Oh, okay, right.
So he's also a son of Nick Nolte, and Terry Crews, also a son of Nick Nolte.
And then
What happened to Terry Crews? He's just not around anymore.
He's still in these Sandler movies.
Yeah. Is he?
Yeah, I think
don't
he
think
was
so.
in the one where they go to Africa.
That was
that
a long
blended?
time ago, April. Yeah, that's blended. That was probably 2015.
Well, I don't know then. Maybe he's just enjoying his retirement. Oh,
knows?
sorry,
Is he
retirement. Not
retired too?
retirement, but yeah, maybe he's just taking some time off.
isn't he in one of those expendable movies?
I
he
think
was in the
so,
second
yeah.
one, not the third and... Wait, was he in the third one?
I mean,
he's-
he also spoke out against his sexual assault a few years
Yeah.
ago.
Maybe he's
and
got
like,
that.
Oh, he was in the third one.
He's got that like Old
not the
Spice
fourth one.
money.
that wasn't him.
Yep, that's
There
true.
was.
Terry Crews was in Old Spice ads?
Yeah, he was the Old Spice guy.
But there was
Yeah, he
There
was
were
one of
two.
the Old
there was
Spice
another
guys.
one.
There was the suave one, and then there was the Terry Crews was the screaming guy who would come and bust through
Yeah.
walls.
And then his head would open, and then like another Terry Crews
Yeah.
would appear.
I'll have to revisit those. I'm not up on my Old Spice commercials, I guess.
He was in the ones that like Tim and Eric directed, I think, were Terry
Yeah.
Crews.
Oh, okay.
It was,
Yeah,
they
it
were just
sounds
really
familiar.
crazy. So yeah, they want to steal like Harvey Keitel's got like this gigantic gold nugget above the bar, and you're sending us pictures.
Sending me as a
Terry
picture of Terry
Crews.
Crews. Oh dear God! Yeah, I think I forgot those existed.
They're really funny.
But yeah, so there's a scene where they have to like scare Harvey Keitel, so he goes upstairs in a hallway. They like lure him there, and then Adam Sandler is like, "Which door is it? Where are you going
he's
to
doing
go?"
his voice.
So it's like a haunted house scene.
They're trying to distract
am I
him
seeing?
while the rest of the gang like steals his gold nugget at night. But it's like this turns into this haunted house scene, and it's actually kind of well done. But it's like, what is it doing?
Why
in
is it in this movie?
It's
Is this
so
Hubie
weird.
Halloween?
Yeah. He's like,
Much better
Wait,
movie.
oh yeah, you've seen Hubie
Yeah,
Halloween,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We did
He's
an
like,
episode on it.
oh, it's behind door number 3.
And then like it comes to basically nothing because he just goes out and chases them outside.
It comes to something
you know.
because
Yeah.
they decapitate Harvey Keitel.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you're 5 kids. I'm gonna kill all of like Nick Nolte's 5 kids, and then
and he's like, "You're ridiculous."
Rob Schneider comes to the rescue and tries to knock him out with a shovel and ends up like decapitating him.
It was kind of funny when he's like, "I was just trying to knock him out." But yeah, I did laugh at the headless body shooting wildly in
Yeah.
the air. It was kind of a funny idea.
Yeah, sure.
You know, it's like something out of a zombie movie. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just it's one of those movies where just like throwing everything at the wall and like
Yeah, but I disagree because
seeing what
there's
2 things stick.
there's barely anything in this movie.
No.
Like it's not like a spoof movie where there's a joke every 5 seconds. This is like
It's like one every
minutes
5
and
minutes.
minutes
The
stretching
joke
on.
density is very low.
It's a
Yeah,
little sparse.
especially.
But the next scene, they play baseball with John Turturro.
Now, this is the scene that I had heard is the one funny scene in this movie. And I thought it was pretty funny. I didn't really laugh, but I think it is.
Oh, I
it's
laughed.
funny in concept because
It's a funny idea.
It is a
yes.
funny
the guy
idea.
says,
Yeah.
I invented baseball, let's play. But then anything that he does badly, he's like, oh, that's part of the rules.
and
Which
they
turn out
are
to be the real
of
rules of baseball.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny because if you think about sports or rules for sports in general, they don't really make a whole lot of sense. Or maybe there was like a reason for it, but it's like, why is there 9 innings? You know, like
Yeah.
it seems arbitrary.
Because they just don't want to play anymore. It's just like, I've already played 9 innings.
Yeah.
I don't want to go get that ball. Oh, you got a home run. Run all the bases.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
the strike zone, like getting an out.
This scene has nothing to do with the rest of the movie
No,
either. Like,
it is so.
John Turturro looking very Frank Zappa-ish, I have to say.
Yeah, he does. He has this like
yeah.
hoity-toity like British accent. But this scene goes on very, very long, and it feels like it's like a.
It doesn't come to
completely
anything.
different- It doesn't come to anything.
plot-wise. But I guess I'm happy it was in the movie.
There's just like information about Nick Nolte's hideout, and he's like, "But first, you have to play baseball, and then I'll tell you the information." And it's like, "All right, fine."
Okay, so have we got to the John Lovett scene? Because this is my favorite scene in the movie.
Oh, I mean, this scene rules.
They decide to go undercover in a poker game for John Lovett's. I forget who he is. He's somebody.
I can't remember.
Someone that
famous,
has money, I guess, that they want to rob.
Yeah, it's like a high stakes poker game.
Rob Schneider goes undercover, and who else is at this poker game? Why, it's
General Custer and Mark
Twain. And I was foretold who Mark Twain is because someone sent me this clip on Twitter. It is Vanilla Ice as Mark Twain, and
Yes.
I did laugh. And it's this very specific type of stupid that just happened to
Like,
happen.
why
to
would
work.
Vanilla Ice be playing Mark Twain? That's the whole.
But also,
Yeah.
he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna freestyle it" and stuff like that.
Yeah,
He's
it's-
acting like
yeah.
Vanilla Ice as
and
Mark
it
Twain.
doesn't look like Vanilla Ice, so you wouldn't know that it's him. So it's just like
It
what
made
is-
me laugh,
Yeah, and then you get David Spade as General Custer.
which is
unrecognizable, right? No, the opposite. Instantly
Yeah.
to you, like, oh, there's David Spade.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't really.
He keeps making jokes about like, "I'll take care of the Indians." Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it wasn't really that great.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, we forgot to say Terry Crews plays the piano with his dick.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, that's a joke.
So yeah,
Well, and then like finally Wyatt Earp shows up. You're like, who's this cameo? Blake Nelson. I guess he's a famous
Blake
country singer.
Shelton.
Shelton. Oh.
Yeah, we had to look it up. We thought it was Nick Offerman.
yeah, it was Blake Shelton, and again, I have no idea who that is.
So I guess if you are a country fan, you would recognize
Sure.
him. He's pretty big.
Yeah.
But no.
Didn't know who it was.
No.
Yeah.
So like Rob Schneider is pretending he's like a coffee bean
I think from maybe
magnate
Colombia
or something like that. Don
And
Juan.
for a scene that has so much build up, it just ends very anticlimactically and like fades to the next scene. You're like, oh, that's it? All right.
Yeah. God,
What is
the
it like,
pacing in this movie is insane.
But like Adam Sandler sneaks into the place. Okay, so throughout the movie, it's very weird. Adam Sandler will do these kind of mystical things.
He has magic powers.
And he'll just do this like, hey, hey, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh god, like how did they allow this?
Yeah.
How did
Was this where he turned into a
he
tumbleweed?
turns into a tumbleweed
And then later he like reads Hurley's mind.
again?
God.
Oh god, it's,
God, this
it's the
movie.
weirdest joke. But there is a flashback to Luke Wilson's past,
Oh, we finally find out what
Oh,
his deal is.
that's a funny scene.
which is really funny.
Big cameo here too.
Yeah, and he's-
or two big cameos.
He's like, was it Abraham Lincoln's like bodyguard at
Who? Wait,
Yeah.
was Lincoln somebody?
the president?
I think it was one of Adam Sandler's.
I was going to say the president of the United
I
States.
meant like, was it a cameo?
Who's this? We don't know who Blake Shelton is. Who's this Lincoln guy?
I know who Abe Lincoln
Oh,
is.
God.
Obviously.
I don't know. I don't think you see Lincoln in
You
this
do,
part?
yeah, you do. I'm
You
just
do,
saying,
you do.
was it somebody?
Okay.
Because
I'm not looking it up,
everybody,
because it's definitely
everybody,
like Alan Covert or something.
it might be that guy who was really something Besser, the guy who was really really tall. Anyway.
Dan Patrick. I don't
Okay,
know who
don't know
that
who that
is.
is.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
He's-
he
yeah,
was
he-
doing security detail for.
And then John Wilkes Booth
Yeah.
shows up. It's Chris Kattan.
It's
Yeah.
Chris
And
Kattan.
he's so starstruck because John Wilkes Booth looks like an
Oh, I love you, John Wilkes Booth.
and he goes, I just want to like, I'll take over. He's like, okay, I got to go to the bathroom. And then he
Yeah.
hears like this gunshot. It's pretty funny.
It would have been funnier if they got Ben Stiller to do, because remember he plays John Wilkes Booth in that scene in Zoolander. Because they're like, well, John Wilkes Booth, that was actually, a male model, and he does like Blue Steel. Come on, you guys. That
Oh wait, so
That would've been a
so
fun
Dan
callback.
Patrick is like a host, like a national sports host.
oh, God.
okay, I guess that's someone then.
Football,
Yeah,
maybe?
because I was looking at his credits, and it's all Adam Sandler films.
Okay. He's got to be like...
Starting
yeah.
with, and because he's in Basketball as himself.
Mm.
So maybe he's a basketball guy.
He's in our favorite sitcom, Arliss, starring Robert Wuhl.
Yep.
There's 80 episodes of Arliss.
Oh, my God. Remember...
It lasted 96 to 2002.
Oh, my
That's
God.
wild. 7 seasons.
Christ. I remember David Letterman would always joke about it. Hey, Paul, have you seen Arliss?
Okay.
You a big Robert Wuhl head?
Wait, who's Robert Wuhl?
The white guy or the other in Batman, the Tim Burton film. You know, there's like a reporter.
If it's from the first two, then I won't know it.
Isn't the first one?
What? You won't?
No, I didn't grow up watching the first two over and over and over. I was more of a Schumacher Batman fan.
Yeah, where would you know Robert Wuhl from? That's my
I
go-to.
have no idea.
That's your
It's like, if,
go-to.
it's like, ooh, Batman?
I just
No?
know
Okay.
people hated Arliss.
Did they?
You're a big fan of Bull Durham or Good Morning Vietnam?
No.
Good Morning
you know it,
Vietnam.
you'd know him if you saw him.
Okay.
Yeah, you know him if you saw
But
him.
that's all I can say. I don't know anything.
The
he's
movie
been in.
Open Season, which I've never heard of before.
It's really Batman, and that was 1989.
That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think was he a stand-up comedian?
Like, obviously, I have
think
seen
so.
Batman. It's just I don't. If you say, "Oh, this person played a reporter in a scene," I won't know what that is.
If you saw the guy's face, you'd recognize
Yeah.
him.
Okay.
Send a picture.
All right.
He was with
I'll
Vicky
send a
Vale
picture.
in Bat.
But I need a young because if you search his name now, it's all what he looks like now. So
Yeah, I do recognize that man. So he had his own show, eh?
yeah, 7 seasons,
Arliss.
2002.
Arliss.
Arliss. We're all talking
Hey,
about it.
Paul, you ever seen Arliss? I know.
We're talking about that and that other Ted Danson show where he was a jerk, Benson, I think.
What? Ted Danson.
No, you never heard of that?
Ted Danson's had like 17 shows that I have no idea about.
They joke about that on Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Becker. That's what
Becker.
it is.
Where Larry David is like, "Why can't you just retire already? It's enough." I'm watching Curb Your Enthusiasm right now.
All right, you know what Ted Danson is doing now? A Cheers podcast
Oh
on
my
the Conan
God.
O'Brien Network.
Why am I not surprised?
Wait, he's
It's so sad to have him here like, oh, well, stamps.com, where it's like, you don't need to do this, Ted.
Yeah, it's so weird.
You don't need
they're going to
this.
spend their own money making the podcast.
No, but you don't need to do the podcast either, period.
Well, this is the thing. It's like, are you doing it for money or are you doing it because you enjoy it? I
He
think
doesn't
they're
need the
doing it
money.
because they enjoy it.
They have to.
But
They-
they probably are told, well, you can't just do something for free. You know what I mean?
Because Ted Danson probably has enough money that like he would never have to work for 10 lifetimes.
Well, maybe that money just goes towards like the people, the audio tech people,
Maybe.
the
But why can't
editors.
Ted Danson should pay it out of his own
Exactly.
pocket.
It's like you're like a star making a movie. It's like you never use your own money. You always get the producers to pay for it.
Yeah, I mean, like
Yeah, so then you have to be like, Blue Chew. When you don't need an erection,
yeah.
Blue Chew.
Like the thing is, like,
Is it a thing?
I
Blue Chew?
don't want to put ads in our
Yes,
podcast.
and all the podcasts do it.
It's like a boner gummy.
yeah, it's like Viagra or something.
Oh
yeah.
my god, Blue Chew.
Oh, Ted Danson was in a 90-minute TV version of Gulliver's Travels.
I mean, Justin, if anything, I would think you would be more likely to put ads in your podcasts because, like, it is your day job.
Yeah, well, he's not a millionaire that's been in like 25
Yeah,
TV
no one
shows.
has ever but no one has ever contacted me to put ads in the podcast.
Oh,
ever.
someone contacted us to get us on some
Did they?
network, and
What-
I never responded.
Oh, I don't want to get on any
Yeah,
networks,
I don't know.
because then they basically own your podcast.
Yeah,
So thank you.
I don't know. Why not just keep being independent? I think that's
Exactly.
it's working for us so far. Okay, we got to wrap up this movie, so we're gonna cut.
We're not even halfway through.
Oh, why did you send us
No,
a
we're
picture of
not.
Gulliver's Travels with Ted Danson? I love that miniseries.
Wait, you did? I just talked about
I grew up
it.
watching it. Yeah, we taped it
Wow.
off TV, and I would watch it all the time.
So you were a big fan of the Jack Black Gulliver's Travels
Oh,
too?
boy.
Skibbity bop boop
No
bop.
thanks.
Well, I
Okay.
remember at one point.
There's a good man at this moment of recording, Jack Black.
Oh, boy.
Who didn't backstab any of his friends.
His long time friend.
There was at one point where I paused the movie and there was like 42 minutes left.
Oh, Ridiculous Six. Yeah.
Well, I have a
There's
feeling
a
it was
point
right
where you
about.
think the movie's about to be like, oh, we're done, right?
Yes.
And you look and you're like,
Oh
how
no!
is
And
there
then
more
there's
time
another
left?
Hugh Jackson scene. Okay, so they finally
Jackson.
they make it. They have like a what happens with the one-eyed gang? Like,
Okay,
do they
find-
get there first and then they find their heads?
Yeah, they find that they've been buried up to their necks. Clearly, Danny Trejo threatened Nick Nolte with this like earlier in the movie. They're all
Yeah.
buried up to their necks. I thought this was like an opportunity for a good gag because each time they showed one of their heads, they had like a different like.
Animal.
I thought that was
But
a
then
funny
they
joke,
didn't
yeah.
complete it. They didn't have
Yeah.
one of the guys didn't have a joke.
Like Will Forte has like ants. One guy has like a lizard that crawls up his
It's a
nose.
snake.
One guy's
yeah.
got a snake.
A crow.
A crow. And I'm like, you should have had a dog like walk up and take a whiz on the guy's head.
Or the
something.
donkey.
Something. But missed opportunity.
Maybe got cut.
Yeah.
Did anything
too funny.
Anything
Yeah,
got cut.
too much.
So they decide to save them, and now they're their friends.
They dig them up. They help.
which I like.
They help rescue Nick Nolte from Danny Trejo. Adam Sandler, as a flashback, realizes that Danny Trejo was the one that killed his mom. So he like throws a knife into his head, kills him. Again, this is all very like grim and serious and strange.
We're supposed to be like, whoa, Adam Sandler's so cool.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's just reeking of that.
Yeah.
Which is
It's really weird.
It's embarrassing.
It's just really weird.
Yeah, because then this is a vanity picture.
So they rescue Nick Nolte, and then they have like this really emotional, like schmaltzy scene where it's very kind of like
I want you to be the best
really,
man at my wedding.
yeah, but it's played so earnest and
I like it. I thought that was funny.
yeah,
it wasn't
just
supposed.
like,
Was it supposed to be funny?
no, he walks
Yeah.
down the row and meets each of his sons and tells them how
I guess so,
can't wait,
yeah.
how he's proud of them, and he can't wait to play piano with Terry Crews and all this sort of stuff. And you're like, wow, okay, this is like a very heartfelt ending. And then nope, he double crosses them.
Turns out he's secretly evil, and
I like that. I like it when dads are revealed to be secretly evil.
well, he was in cahoots with Danny Trejo the whole time. So the gang comes back, and we're like, well, we'll be taking the rest of the money now.
Yeah.
And
finally we get the payoff that the gang that cut out their eyes don't actually cut out their eyes, except for Steve Zahn.
yeah. And they make him cut out the eye that has the poor eyesight too.
Or the good eyesight.
Yeah.
Right, he cuts out the
His
good
wonky
eyesight.
eyes left. Yeah, but it's he does.
Oh wait, I think Will Forte does have one of his eyes cut out.
No, he has two eyes. They all have two eyes.
Yeah, because he lifts his patch to like read
To
something
look
that
at-
Steve Zahn
yeah.
shows him. He's
Yeah.
like, hey, wait a minute. And then
And then a real gunfight breaks out.
yeah, and then like Sandler's wife gets kidnapped again for like the third time in this movie.
Yeah.
And then
Really
they
bad
go into the
characters.
mine. Nick Nolte's doing them.
Yeah, then they have another like
Yeah.
haunted house thing, and then like
And the donkey does not shit powerfully enough to turn it into a rocket.
I was
No.
waiting, okay, because they said like the pack on my burro has like the rest of the money, and I was waiting for
Yeah.
Nolte to go back there to get it, and then diarrhea.
You're like, come on, you're setting it
it was
up.
kind of cool that like there's dynamite in it, and he throws it in the air.
Yeah, okay, that's pretty fun.
I can't remember seeing
would
that
have
in a movie before.
The only explosive I
Wait,
want to see in this movie
That-
is explosive
That's happened
diarrhea.
a million times in westerns.
He hasn't seen that many,
I
Justin.
haven't seen. I'm ignorant.
You know what I haven't seen in a western? Explosive diarrhea into Nick Nolte's
Yeah.
face.
Yeah.
Turning into a rocket
Yeah.
that like goes up to the moon and then it turns into like
Although
a
I
CGI
mean
dog.
that
Yeah.
might happen in A Million Ways to Die in the West.
Oh, it's possible.
I'm pretty sure there is explosive
I
diarrhea.
was holding
in
A
that.
Million Ways to Die in the West just a few days ago at a Shoppers Drug Mart. The Blu-ray was there, and I was like, "There's a famous commentary on this where like they're like they don't get the movie."
Oh,
like Charlie
man.
Theron is like
Oh, boy.
naming critics, and I was like, "It's not worth $5."
Yeah, you know what? Because they
No.
were like totally dating at the time, weren't they? The two of them.
Oh, were they?
I don't know. It's
Wait,
I felt-
was she dating
I
him?
feel like that whole movie was made just so Seth MacFarlane could get with Charlize Theron, because he was hitting on her like in the press junket and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know that they were an item, but yeah, I
He like
agree.
invited her back to his house and put on like a 3-hour Frank Sinatra show for her. Made her sit there and watch him sing.
which I'm sure she enjoyed. That velvety voice of his. So
Anyway,
I
Sandler-
believe the movie's
I want to
over.
do a Seth MacFarlane movie now. Ted 2.
No.
Ted 2.
I haven't seen any of the Teds.
Sandler like throws a bunch of knives into the darkness because it's kind of set up earlier in the movie that he says a true warrior can like
I want it my way. Sorry, I'm singing my favorite Seth MacFarlane songs now.
What are the
From
What are the
Sing.
MacFarlane movies other than A Million Ways to Die in the West and Ted 1 and 2?
I think that's it.
Well, then there's nothing to do.
Why?
Unless we do West, but that's supposed to be even worse than
No,
this.
God.
Which one?
A Million Ways to
Oh,
Die in the West.
I saw that in theaters.
Oh,
What is
wow.
wrong?
Not
Right.
funny.
What is wrong with you?
Considering like how much we hate Seth MacFarlane, I think like
Do you hate Seth
me and
MacFarlane?
Colin do. Yes.
He's very pro-union. He's the one that helped the Simpsons unionize.
I mean, I hate like his comedy stuff. And hey, I used to watch Family Guy just like
Hey,
everybody
that
else.
reminds me of the time that I met Seth MacFarlane. Doodaloo.
Yeah. No, I'm glad that he is good
Hey,
for
he's done
good for unions.
He's done good stuff. He brought
Yeah.
back Nova,
Yeah.
with Neil deGrasse Tyson. That was a great.
It's
show.
very weird that like when I hear people younger than me tell me how much they love Family Guy, and I used to love Family Guy.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Like those
me
first
too.
3 seasons.
yeah.
But like I watched the first like 3 episodes of the new season. I'm like, this sucks. This is just like a reference, and that's it.
It's kind of just like The Simpsons at this
Yeah.
point. You know what I mean?
Well,
Also, it's kind
and the
of,
fact that it still exists and is continually
people
going.
people
Yeah.
tell me South Park is quote unquote good again, but like the reason that I stopped watching it was just because I'd just seen enough.
Yeah.
You know, I can't keep watching the same thing over and over and over, and I think that's kind of how I felt with Family Guy. I was like, okay, I get it, and that's not to say there aren't still funny jokes in it, but it was just like I think I'm done.
Yeah,
and
it's like-
hey, if they're able to keep making money and keep going, go for
Sure.
it. You know.
I don't have to watch it. Yeah, I
Exactly.
don't-
People seem to love it. People love American Dad. Is the
There
Cleveland show
are
still on?
424
know.
episodes of Family Guy.
Hey, and the Orville was supposed to be really good. People
Yeah,
like that show.
I don't know if I can look at his face every week.
Yeah,
he's very smarmy.
he's a little
Yeah.
too
His
smug.
very realistic, untouched face, right?
yeah,
His face is too perfect. Do you think he's had work done?
I
Yes,
don't know.
absolutely.
Probably.
Okay, we got to wrap this up.
Yeah, well,
the movie's
thankfully
over,
movie, yeah,
right?
so they have a wedding.
Farland.
They have a wedding, and then they all dance, and they do Vanilla Ice as Mark Twain shows up at the wedding.
Yeah, and he's like doing Vanilla Ice dancing and stuff like that. Are you sending?
He's
pictures
just sending us a picture of Seth MacFarlane.
And now look how he looks now. Completely untouched.
Oh, what was that like from the 90s? Oh boy.
And this
Yeah,
is
I
him
mean,
from-
but he looks the same.
Oh, he
so
kind of looks like
he must have.
if you
It
went to
looks like
the-
his face is shrinking.
Yeah, it's like you went
Yeah,
to the doctor
it's-
and you said, "Make me look like Carl Urban," and then
Yeah. Like we can do our best.
Well, again, he's a person in Hollywood. They're all pressured to get work done.
and then
So
he
whether they
gets,
do or not, you know.
how much pressure do you think he has?
Oh, I'm sure he puts it on himself, if not from like his agents and
Sure,
stuff.
yeah.
You know.
He's not in stuff. I guess the Orville, whatever.
Is the Orville still on? I thought that got canceled.
I think they keep threatening to bring it back.
So it's not.
Oh wow.
He's continuing to send us pictures here.
Oh god.
Oh, is that him as a young man? Oh my
Yeah,
lord!
I'm just sending like a million
It's way
photos
too
of Seth
many.
MacFarlane.
No.
Oh my
All right,
gosh,
let's wrap
this
this
is
up,
way
April.
too many. Okay, so the movie's over.
It's a,
I definitely would not recommend this. I don't know what I was thinking.
Good lord. He's probably like 60. This guy. He looks like he's
I was
like 25.
I was lured in by the promise of diarrhea jokes for this movie,
Yeah,
and I
I
thought
thought
it
there was
would
gonna
be
be more
more
than that.
gross out humor.
Justin, stop. Stop sending pictures.
And the,
Wait, look,
the,
I got a last good one here.
the YouTube. This is just going to be a slideshow of Seth MacFarlane pictures.
That's when he like just woke up
Yikes.
hungover. He was hanging out with Vince Vaughn the night before.
And Vin Diesel.
Well, as we know, he narrowly escaped 9/11 as well.
He did.
He really did.
If Seth MacFarlane was on the plane, things would have went differently.
Yeah. Okay. There's him at his piano. Okay. So obviously this this movie is available on Netflix, but watch Bucky Larson instead. I really feel that way.
No.
Come on. We
don't
all
watch any
know.
of these.
We all know it was funny.
You know what? Maybe turn off the HDR if you're watching it in
Maybe
Yeah.
on a TV
Yeah.
like that.
Um,
it's not
yeah.
very well done.
But Summer of Sandman rolls on. We are going to continue until September. I promise. Justin, stop.
I guarantee you, he's got like a full stage at his house, like a theater
There's him crooning.
with like lights, and he has like a tuxedo ready to go.
I think I said
Oh,
this story
yeah.
on the podcast before, but you know, like at his birthday,
Yeah.
he made everybody get together, and they're like, "Oh man, he's gonna do it like even it's his birthday. He's gonna give us a big surprise at the theater." And his staff had to sit and watch him sing.
Yeah, he made them all come over to his house to watch him sing.
The thing is, if you're going to do that, at least have it be like a karaoke sing-along type thing, so
Yeah.
everybody can do it. But no, just sitting and watching him.
just watch him.
That's
He's
a
got his
little
own
weird.
theater. I guarantee he's got someone on staff that plays like a grand piano that comes out on a moment's notice.
He's got a Terry Crews to play piano for him.
Yeah, he's got like a Batman booth where he has like a fucking tuxedo ready to go. He just goes in and like comes
Well,
out.
he wants to be Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
Although
Well,
I don't
Seth
think he wears the
MacFarlane
hat.
had the first in-home IMAX theater I'm seeing
Oh
here.
my god, he's so rich, it's insane.
Well, he is very, very rich.
He was
Yeah.
already rich.
Yeah.
I only see. Wait, is there like? There's no because it looks like a little theater. There's only like. It looks like 15 chairs.
Yeah,
But, like,
that
it
makes
says
it
it's
even
a
worse.
It's a 10,000 square feet per. That's yeah. Ugh.
So if you want to
Ugh.
email the podcast, we're at
Seth, though, if you're listening, I'd love to visit your house.
Of
You
course.
can sing songs for me.
15. Can you imagine
Sure, he's a
having
nice
a
guy.
theater? It's one thing if it's like 200 people, you can kind of blend in with the crowd, but it's like 15 people. He's going to see you watching, right? So you have to like pretend you're entertained and like clap
Of him
along.
singing?
Yeah. He'll be able to see you in a 15 person theater.
Wait, I just see an article. Seth MacFarlane's voice continues to be incredible. A Live Journal article
By Seth
written
MacFarlane.
by Oh No They Didn't.
That's a website?
No, it's a Live Journal thing. Remember Live Journal?
Yes, we all had live journals. Well, not Colin.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to wrap up here.
Justin, you just posted the best joke. Did we talk about our favorite thing?
Yeah,
Oh.
wait. What?
That was my favorite joke when
What?
Luke Wilson
Okay.
takes a
Oh,
bullet.
shit. Okay,
He
sorry.
takes a bullet for Nick Nolte,
The funniest joke in the Ridiculous Six.
and then he looks up. He's like, we were supposed to think he's dying, and Sandler's looking down at him, and then Sandler kind of transforms into like Abraham Lincoln, and he's like, "You did good, kid." And then the camera pans over, and then the donkey looks like Mrs. Lincoln.
The thing is, he's not transformed. He's just wearing the hat,
And a
and that's
beard.
why
No, he
it's
has a
funny.
beard.
Oh, he
He
has
has a
the beard
beard.
too. You're right. You're
Yeah.
right. Yeah, that legitimately made us both laugh. So that was a well done, Sandler, who co-wrote this movie with someone else. I don't know. Alan Colvert. He was just a producer this time.
Oh, we forgot Norm Macdonald shows up for like 2 seconds.
No,
at one
he
point.
doesn't.
When?
Did
Yeah,
we
he does.
miss this?
Yeah, it's when they're going through the rooms with Harvey Keitel.
Oh, was he one of
that
the
was
guys?
The guys in the
him?
room.
Oh, he's like, "Now
Yeah.
take my pants off and punch me in the face."
I did
I don't
not
remember.
even know that was him.
Okay, I
I
didn't
did not
either.
recognize him. Oh boy, poor Norm again, just getting the short end of the stick with all these Sandler movies. Okay, shall I wrap up?
Yes.
If you want to,
Wait, do I have more Seth MacFarlane photos to send you?
No.
if you want to email the podcast, we're at no such thing as a bad movie at gmail.com, and we're on Twitter at no such thing, and Instagram at no such thing pod, and we're on YouTube. So check out this week's episode on YouTube if you want to see a million episodes of Seth MacFarlane at the end. It's going to be a huge, and it's still happening. It's still happening right now. He's still still sending them.
Music is better than words.
That's a real album that Seth MacFarlane released.
Please consider. I see
Frank
it.
Sinatra.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate it.
Please consider supporting us on Patreon. Patreon.com/no such thing as a bad movie. If you're subscribed to the $5 level, you get access to our entire back catalog of bonus episodes. And we tend to talk about newer things. We just talked about the new season of The Boys. So that's going to be out next week. And in the summer, we always do a commentary track. So we have to decide what we're doing for that. So I'm
When did
pretty
this become a rule that we do it every summer?
Well, I mean, why not?
Yeah, I know.
We started it a few years ago, and we should keep the tradition alive.
Do we do a vote of what people? Because we're just going to do the worst thing if people vote.
Well, I think it should be a Sandler movie.
Okay.
Or like a Happy Madison movie. I don't know. Maybe we'll come up with a short list and let the people vote. I don't know, but that's coming out.
Click.
Yeah,
click,
it's
click.
coming. It's
You want to hear April cry on mic?
yeah, that's coming out sometime in August. So check that out. If you want to find me, I'm on Twitter and Instagram at April Atmansky.
You can follow me on any social media under the name Justin DeClue, or every week on the Important Cinema Club.
You can follow me on Twitter, Sergeant Zima, SGTZIMA, and you can listen to me sing the Frank Sinatra classics on my new album,
Colin sings the classics.
Music Notes.
Colin sings the classic.
Music Notes are in better lyrics.
You know, have you ever done Frank Sinatra at karaoke?
No.
Why not? It seems up your alley.
No.
Well, I mean, you did Elvis. Wow.
That's different.
He's going to do all his favorite songs.
You know who-
Jump and Jive and Wail,
Oh,
Rock
yeah.
This Town, Summertime Blues, This Cat's on a Hot Tin Roof, Straight Up, Jingle Bells, The Dirty
You
Boogie.
actually don't do Stray Cats as often as you do other people.
I'm going to do Seth MacFarlane as Frank Sinatra.
Okay.
You know who does Frank Sinatra apparently in karaoke all the time is Ron Perlman.
Really?
Okay. I could
I
see
buy
that.
that.
People would talk like all the time in like Hollywood. They would see him like at some karaoke place, and he would always be up there singing Frank Sinatra with like.
Usually, when from what I recall, when I would do not private room karaoke, if it's in like a bar, there's always like an old guy who sings "My Way" at one point.
Oh yeah,
and not the Limp Bizkit "My Way," the
My way or the highway.
the Frank Sinatra one. Anyway, that's it for this week.
Wait, that's not a Frank Sinatra cover?
I don't think so. So the summer of the Sandman rolls on, and thank you for joining us. I hope we're not annoying you guys with all of this Happy Madison content. But yeah, one more month left. And also, we only started it in July. I don't even think we started it in June. So
I think you're speaking for yourself, April. Where you're like, "Are we tired yet?"
Yeah.
Why don't you try to pick a good one next?
I
or
know.
whoever's in
Well, I
charge?
mean, my picks
I think
are
it's Colin,
my pick.
right?
No, it's you, Justin. My picks are done. Yeah.
do
so-
you know how tough that's gonna be?
Oh no.
Oh my god.
You know what? I'll probably a little Nicky. That's what I want to do.
Hang on, you got a couple weeks to decide.
Okay.
But I mean, I remember liking that one. So that's it for this week. Thanks for joining us. I'm April Atmansky,
I'm Justin Glue.
I'm Colin Cunningham.
and remember, there's no such thing as a bad movie. You said like Cunningham.